Assalamu alaikum and welcome again. We are working now on paper 3. It's March 2019. It's paper 3-1. As you know, March has just only one variant. Now task 1 is talking about the evidence file. To prepare your evidence file, put your name in the header and so on, and save it under the name as to add your candidate number. Now task 2. Task 2 is the web page. You will evaluate a web page designed for children aged 2 to 3 years old to help them identify colors. When they click on a word, the name of the color is output through speakers and the color appears in the circle here, they mean. The web page looks like this. Now, a question which is not related to the web page really, it is to evaluate the web page for the intended audience. This is chapter 9, which is talking about the evaluation of this website. Don't use more than 100 words, so it means at least we can write 50 words, 60 words at least. Then we will not exceed the 100. Now, as you see, the website here, they have a title which is good and it is in big font. But when we talk about students we can find the answer here. For from, text cannot be read by the age group because they are just only 2 or 3 years old. Text is too small, too many colors, complex text like turquoise, not intuitive, better to click on color, and at last, text reader relates sound to word. So all of this is talking about the evaluating for this website, and you may find also another ideas from your own. Now back and find the question 2. State the most appropriate web development layer 2. Set the background color of all pages in website. Create a hyperlink to another web page. Collapse all table borders and enlarge an image when the user hovers the cursor over it. It's 4 marks for 4 answers, and you can find this in your book at chapter 20, the first page, which is talking about the layers and the components. So also you can find it here with each one. Now the presentation, structure, content, and behavior. And now we start by the web design. You work for House Design and will develop web pages for a small British company called Glorious Gardens. Efficient markup and style sheets must be used. All color codes must be in hexadecimal, which is actually our work. Now create a new folder which is called G HTML. Locate the following files and store them in your G HTML folder, and we have to put these files from the supporting files. As you see, it's the JPG, PNG, CSS, text, and JPG. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have to create the new folder, and I have to put the files they are talking about. I'll get a copy. I will not move them, just not to lose. This one I don't want. Now they are 8 items, right? Now back to the question paper. Open and resize the image Lilac so that it is in this size 6 172 and the height. Like this question, they are not talking about looking the aspect ratio, so I have to work on the size that they are talking about. After this, I have to save it as Lilac 1 JPG. Now I have to work on this picture Lilac by open with Microsoft Office Picture Manager. You can also find some Photoshop or another application to make it. Also Paint can work on this resizing. Now what should I do? Edit pictures and resize. Now I want to custom the width and the height to make it as wide 6, 7, 8, 2 and 8, 9, 6. Now okay, I have resized this and I have now to export it as JPG. Now the original format, and I have to name it by Lilac 1 in the same folder, and okay. Now that was Lilac 1. Remove the left and right of the image to make it just only 271 pixels wide and stay as it 896 pixels height like this. And after I have to trim this width, I have just to name it as Lilac 2 JPG. Let's do it. Back to Lilac. Now also edit picture and crop. I want to take from the left 201 and from the right 200. By this I can find that the new will be 271 by the height, which is 896, and okay. Now by this I want also to export Lilac to be Lilac 2 JPG in the same folder, and okay. Now back to our question paper. Display the contents of your GGHTML, showing the folder name, all file names, extensions, and the sizes, and also the image dimensions. Okay, so I have to remember what to show. Back. Now like this I will not gain any mark. I have to make a view with details. Now this is the folder name and this is the file name, extension here, file size here, and the dimensions. Also they did not ask me for the date, so I can put it here. Tags I don't want, so I can remove tags. And now dimensions. If I don't have dimensions in the short list, I can just go to more and to click or unclick what to show about the details. So this is my work. I make a screenshot and put it in the evidence. Now after this, create a web page called Spring HTML. This web page must work in all browsers like this. I should have a table, this table with these dimensions, and I think we used for this style of questions By question 6, actually we start by our work. Now I will just close the picture manager. Now this is my web expression, Microsoft Expression Web 4, and I have to make a new folder or a new website like this, or by coming from here and say open site. It's the same. Browse. I have to work on my here. This is my folder. You will not find any file. Why? Because there is no inside folders. We are working in open site, not open file. So open. My files now are listed on the left and in the site view here. I need folder list. If I don't have it, I can get it from panels and just tick on it. Now what to do? I have to create this new web page, which is from here, just a new. Now it is untitled HTML. I have to save it and I have to call it as needed spring, and here is web page. I can choose web page or HTML. It's the same. Some of my students also like to write HTML just to get more confident. It's already okay, and save. Now what to do? I have to make this table. Let's count how many rows and how many columns we have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 3. Each table cell is identified by its letter. The letters and dimensions must not be appearing on your web page. All table borders should be visible with the width of 2 pixels. So it has 13 marks and it's easy work, really easy marks. So what to do? Back to your web design and from table here, insert table. We have 6 rows for 3 columns. Now the borders size is 2. They did not talk about the alignment, cell padding or cell spacing, but if we have here everything. I can just put the width and the height. How? By finding out that it is 800 and 1150. Okay, so sorry, 800 the width, 1150. Okay, and they did not talk about collapsing or anything else. The colors, the background of the table, so it's okay. Now what to do? Highlight the first cells in the first row and right click with merge cells in modify merge cells. Also for here, the third one, I will highlight the cells and modify merge. Also the last row, highlight, modify and merge. So I did the merging. Now let's work on sizing. The first one is the cell properties is what? Specify the width and the height. Width is 800 and the height is 1, and as you see it's in pixels. We have to be careful about this. Now after this you can find that 1, 2, 3, 4 cells are in the same specifications, and also these are in the same specification. So I will highlight 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4 cells here, and cell properties, width and height, 300s and 225. Okay, now this modify in cell properties 225 and 225 also pixels. Now the last one, just as also cell properties, the width 275 and 900 pixels. Apply. Okay, now the last row, the merged one, also in the cell properties, width and height 800, 150. Apply and okay. Now just click on save to save your work, and now I want to check my work in the code. This is my table with, this is not 800 percentage, it is 800 px. You have to take care about this. Just it's px, not percentage. Now it is 800, 100. These three are, yes, 300, 225, 4, yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is the merged one, the 275 by 900. The last one is 800 by 150, and all are px. So I did well. Save your work and back to the question paper. Now place in the cell A spring, flowering trees and shrubs. Here, okay, it is style H1, so please back here, and this is the heading 1, H1. Now question 8, place in the cell C the text apple, F camellia, H cherry, and in J forsythia. Now let's work on that. Here I have to put the word apple, camellia, cherry, and forsythia. Okay. Okay. Now they should be in H2, save your work and back to your question paper. Now place in the cells also D, B, E. Okay, now for cell D it was a specific file name, but in the others they are talking in B, apple tree, camellia, cherry and forsythia. Now let's back here and find, as they said, D it will be the lilac. Just take lilac 2 and put. Now back here in the markup resize the images. Okay, and did they say anything about alternative text? For now nothing is talking about the alternative text, but in the markup resize each these images to be okay, so no need for alternative text or the long description. Now I did good. Now in B here I need apple tree. Let's check. هلا thanks to Allah that we have the names here. Sometimes they are just working on numbering and you have to find out the correct one. Now this is the apple, camellia, okay, cherry and forsythia. Okay, now I have to get them all in the same dimensions as they asked me, 290, maintaining aspect ratio. So here is the appearance. It should be with the width 290, maintaining the aspect ratio, and I should do this 290. Also I can find it in the code, you just work on this. Also I find this is easier, picture properties and 290. And okay, now after this save your work and back. Place in K the text from GGG text. Okay, now triple G text here, Control A, Control C, back to K and put what you have copied. After this, replace the text, insert your name by your name and your data, and it should be in H3, so it is H3, and insert your name, my name, Halil, center number, candidate number, remove the children's. Okay, and make only the text link as a hyperlink to send an email for this address, email address, with ask the expert as subject line. So the word link. Here you can right click, hyperlink email, and you have to type the email. As you see, mail to is automatically appears. Now I have to write ask the expert, ask the expert, and make sure appropriate text is displayed if the image is not available. Now this is talking about the question 12 is related to question 9. It was a late comment or note for question 9. So by this I can click OK and back to my pictures. Now I have to work on picture properties. Alternative text, I will write apple tree. Also here for this picture properties, I will write camellia, and so on. For each one you should do it. After this, attach the style sheet G style CSS to your web page and save this web page in your it's already saved, so just only I have to attach the style, the CSS. Now the changes are done. The background is green, the table border is yellow, the table in the middle or in the center of my web page, and also I am saving my work. By this you will create second style sheet using the most efficient syntax. They talk about the syntax of CSS, which is not HTML, and it is not an HTML file. It will be a style sheet. Create a new style sheet, call it G followed by your candidate number. Place your name at the bottom and edit the style so that now let's work on this. First of all, I have to make new, and I have to be careful about CSS, and also I have to name it now. You should be aware about this trick. It's not a web page, it is CSS, and I have to name it as G followed by my candidate number. And first of all, I will start by the bottom of my file, because I know that I will forget to add my name, center number, candidate number at the bottom. So this is Hadil. As you see, I have a mistake. I have to put a slash star. Now I am in the right way, and to finish this by this. Now this should be the bottom, so I will just click on, and now edit this style sheet so that the image G logo PNG becomes the single background image placed at the top right of each page. Let's do this. Now I can make it as a new style from here, and it is for body, the background. Here I will choose the image. This is G logo, and because they asked me just to make it on the top right so it will not be tiled like this, no repeat. At the same time, I want to make the position of this background. I can do it from here, or just only I can close it like this. Once I am in the tag here, I can choose from here the background position, and I can put top and right. Like this, top, right. Okay, so I did the background. What else? Now all tables are left aligned in the browser. So here, new style and table. For this table, the layout should be left. Here you can't find the left, but I can find it from here. The position, the left will be 0. So by this, the table is here. Then I can also in the table, if you don't like it to be like this, just find the margin, and also you can make it from here as left. Now I want the table and TD because here all table borders are visible and 2 pixel wide. Visible, it means solid, and pixel wide is 2, so the width is 2 points. But here all table borders, it means table and TD, the inside borders. So here the new style, I will write table comma TD, and like this I can find whatever I want in border. The border should be 2 px, and I can't here make it as solid, so what I can do that from here border style is solid. Also from here you can make any changes on the border width in the bottom, or to make the collapse, whatever they are asking us to do, we can do it from here. But I have to take this up. The comment should be in the end, in the bottom. Now by this I can save my G CSS. Now let's check our mark scheme. So this is the body as we did. This is table TD. They did it before the table. It's never mind, nothing to say which is the best. We are following just only the steps. Now save your work, the style sheet, attach it to your web page, and make sure that your new style sheet has higher priority, which means that you have attached this style sheet now. Okay, so just close it. Now as you see, after we attach the file just by drag and drop like this, save your work, then display your web page in the browser. If necessary, resize it. All the page can be seen, all text can be easily read. The address bar is also visible. Take a screenshot of the browser window and place it in your evidence file. Display HTML source. Okay, so let's do evidence 4. Now how? This is to preview in your work and let it like this. It will be maybe greater than the 50%. I will do it. Okay. Take a screenshot and put it here in evidence 4. You have to resize. You should keep the address bar the way you want it, like this, and please resize. Okay. Now what they are asking us to do is to place your HTML source here, the code. Just make Ctrl A, Ctrl C, and back to evidence 5. This is my HTML. I can just use the space by line spacing to make them 0, 0 and single line spacing, and also Control Enter to make it neat. Okay, save your work, back to your question paper. Now take a copy. Yes, display new style sheet in your editor. Take a copy of your style sheet also. So please, here they did not ask for screenshot, so I want to make it as, yes, it is a screenshot. No, here CSS. This is my CSS, and also I will fix the line spacing. Okay. Now by this we end our task 2. It is 50 marks. Good luck.